By the way, if you haven't already gotten to this point, we're going full spoilers. I
Yeah.
should have put this at the beginning. Maybe I'll cut this out and put it at the beginning, and then work this in so you know exactly where I remember to say this. Hi, I'm Thomas, a.k.a. MrWartburg, and this is the MrWartburg show here for the week after Easter. I think I'm on episode 19, maybe episode 18. I really need to get better at my numbers. Anyway, I missed Easter, mostly because it was family stuff. Had an alumni tournament where I was totally out of shape. Had an asthma attack after the first time in like 5 years without symptoms. So that was a very, very rough weekend. So I decided I'm going to hold off on making a video. So I apologize for the 1 week break. But this week, I'm back, and I'm going to have a very special guest here soon. We're going to be talking about Batman versus Superman. And to that end, let me make a call.
Perfect. Oh, hey, Tom. Oh, shit, yeah. I got my notes and everything. Let me look for them. No, really don't have it. All right, so now we're going to be on an adventure way out. I know, I'm on my way. It's going to be a bit. It's okay, though. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, my goodness, how it's all right. Just taking people's orders sometimes are just a little tough. I understand. It's okay.
Cool. See you in a few seconds. Oh, hey, man. Mike's hot.
Woo!
Shut the door. Move over.
Hold on. Shutting. Mic on.
Look at the poster. It's framed so perfectly.
Oh, I was looking at the...
And then up here, Batman.
There's so much things to look at!
It's almost like I planned the portion of where this camera is going to go, only I didn't.
Pre-scripted.
Mostly because I set
Kind
up these
of.
posters months ago. Anyway, we're talking Batman versus Superman. Again, that's Joey.
Woo!
If you remember him from the Deadpool video. Episode 12, I believe that was.
12?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Six videos ago.
6 videos ago?
7
Damn.
weeks, because I skipped a week for Easter.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it was, well, my tournament I had an asthma attack.
Had the whole Rising of Jesus coming along, yeah.
Yeah, and the cousins from Germany were home.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, the
There's
ones
a
that are
bit-
obsessed with their meat over here? No.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, not there.
Nah.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Jesus. We just grilled a lot of meat the last time they were here. Like 12 mini steaks, about 15 like chicken breasts, and that's not even counting the fish. We went through like 4 full like tilapias and a couple salmons. There's a lot of meat.
Big
One,
connoisseurs.
either fish or like meat. But you know what I mean. Anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, sorry.
Joey, we saw Batman vs. Superman on opening night Thursday in Mason City. First off, Cinema West nailed the renovation. Those seats are amazing.
They
Holy
did.
shit. Full electric recliners. We were in the second row. Could see the whole screen because it went all the way back. It was
The
fantastic.
legroom was the most important part. When I
There's
saw,
like 5 feet of legroom in front of you.
and that's with you fully inclined. You're fully laid back, and there's like 5 feet. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
there's so much room here. We don't know what to do.
it was awesome.
I was very impressed.
I will be going there for pretty much all my movies.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So, enough about the theater. Let's get to the actual movie. It's a pretty controversial movie, as you've seen probably.
Yeah.
The reviews are kind of all over the map.
They've been everywhere.
Some saying it's actually really good. Some saying
Yeah.
it's good. Some saying it's a mess. Some saying it's awful. So, what did you think of the movie itself before we get to our overall grading, if we want to make a grade of the movie?
Quick shot, I guess I'd have to say, is good. There's a lot of good, interesting parts that intrigue you as a viewer.
I would say as a comic book fan.
As a comic book fan, also as like a new viewer, because one guy in line's like, I've never seen a Batman movie. He's behind me. I was like,
On opening night,
the
went
fuck?
to Batman vs. Superman. Never having seen a Batman
Never
movie.
seen a Batman movie. He went to it.
That's a very big leap of faith.
That's a huge leap of faith, especially going to this, which I thought was good and okay. Wasn't quite for sure if it was supposed to be a Batman or a Superman other movie. I felt more like if it was supposed to be another Superman movie, it felt more like another Batman movie.
Very
It
true.
really did. I felt like he was the main protagonist. I felt, yes.
So what did you think, outside of the Batman-Superman relation? Obviously, they're the biggest two. It's Batman
Yes.
versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. What did you think of the rest of like the cast outside of those two? Because, I mean, Henry Cavill,
Oh.
I like him as Superman. I don't think he's had a good shot at actually being Superman. He's got a good Clark Kent going, but they don't know how to write Superman, so I can't say, honestly, whether or not he's gotten to do it. And I liked Affleck. But outside of those two...
Oh, Lex Luthor.
Anybody.
Lex,
There's a lot more characters.
I'm going to say
those
Lex
three.
he's amazing. Actually, I don't think it's really Lex. I think it's his son.
Oh, it is his son. It's Alexander Luthor Jr.
Oh, didn't I know that actually?
Yeah.
Where did you learn that on the side or?
No, that was like they said that right up front.
Okay.
LexCorp, his dad put the name in LexCorp. Lex's dad, the original Lex, his dad's name's Lionel.
Mm-hmm.
So Lex Luthor being his dad means that's
Lionel.
That's why it's Lex. But Lionel Luthor was an amazing character on Smallville, played by the amazing John Glover. But that's another topic.
I didn't agree. But Lex Luthor was great. The girl who played Wonder Woman, who was she?
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. Is that like her only?
No, she's been in the Fast and Furious franchise. That's like probably her biggest franchise.
Okay.
But she's in a few other ones as well. She's, I believe, former Israeli military for a couple of years.
Totally believe it.
And she's really hot.
Ooh, yeah.
And actually, I thought played a really, really good Wonder Woman with the little bit we got.
Oh.
I'm super pumped to see where they take her movie, because they're going to be a more naive version of the character, they say. Someone who hasn't seen and gone through the shit of like a century of horrors, as she mentioned. It's going to be in 1918, World War I, the tail end of it after America enters the war. Hence Steve Trevor's involvement, played by Chris Pine. So I'm curious to see where they go with that. But continue.
I like to say her fight scene when she's faking Doomsday, so
they-
fucking great.
Well,
She gets like hit back at some point in time. She like gets literally lunged backwards, and then she like lands into the hero 3-point stand and just smiles. I'm like, that bitch, she's gonna fight. And then
See, well, like I'm not a huge fan of how they've characterized Superman's powers, namely his flight, like the whole like affecting gravity around him thing. Like that's more Superboy with his tactile telekinesis than Superman. So I don't really think Snyder gets Superman. They get the super speed, they get the they get the vision, they get how he looks when he's actually flying. But like the whole taking off and the gravity thing still fucking irks me.
well, the only reason why
Which gets me to the thing which
yeah,
we'll talk about
I was just
later.
gonna say.
But which they could have been shown in a couple different ways. But we'll talk about that at
I
length.
think they showed it good because the way they portrayed it in the first. Okay,
It shouldn't have been.
Yep, we'll talk about it later.
Stop.
Joey, continue.
Stop.
Alfred was
Just cut me off.
amazing. I thought you still wanted to do my characters. We're just gonna
Okay,
punch
keep
right through
going.
it.
Keep going.
I'm gonna softly talk into the mic because I know
I
you
got
like
stuff
that.
to do.
Alfred, fucking amazing.
Jeremy
Alfred.
Irons was maybe the best part of the movie.
I really enjoyed the actual like Alfred was Alfred to me. It wasn't just I'm your butler. No, I'm actually gonna help Batman earpiece
Amazing
with
accent.
that. He actually had the whole ear like he helped communicate blueprints and did a lot of things for
and
him.
He was not afraid to give him shit.
Oh, wasn't
Not that
wasn't
there'll be
at
another
all.
generation of Waynes.
Probably
You know,
one of
and,
my
like he was
favorite
helping
parts.
out with the suit. You know, it was very clear that he, at least, I mean, obviously this is 20 years after they've gotten started, but it was very clear he had an active role in Batman's
very
career,
much
like
so.
taking command of the drones and all that kind of stuff. Very clear he's been heavily involved, not just, again, like you said, kind of the butler to it all.
Yeah,
And I think better than Michael Caine's Alfred. I think he was awesome.
yeah, I'd agree with that.
So, set up for, like I mentioned, it's Dawn of Justice, right? I believe that's what they actually said alone for the title, I think. What did you think of the setup for Justice League?
I think it's gonna be good. One thing I'm hoping for, that's just because I'm a huge Robin fan, is that Robin's actually still alive in this universe. I've done some more exploring since we've seen it. I've got a feeling motherfucker's dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot of people thinking it's Jason Todd as the new Joker. However, if they're going to go Dark Knight Returns, which this was heavily influenced by Frank Miller's work, Dick Grayson actually became that Joker, I believe, if I'm doing my research right. He went crazy because he's been involved more than almost as much as Bruce for like 15 years.
That's
know,
true. He did lose his city too.
So he went crazy. Yeah, I don't think in that universe Bloodhaven exploded,
You don't
but
think so? Oh.
no, this was 80s Dark Knight Returns.
Okay.
Not that was like pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths, wasn't it? Like early 2000s when Bloodhaven
Yeah,
exploded.
that's early 2000s. Yep.
But anyway, and then if it's Dick Grayson as the new Joker, or if it's just straight up Joker, not any previous Robins, that means we can get Nightwing. Oh, I want Nightwing. I want a Nightwing who's like, you know what, I have seen the shit, I'm retired, but you know what, I'm coming back. And the actual guy who can lead and inspire, which Batman isn't supposed to do. That's not his character. That's Superman's character. That's why Nightwing's awesome, because he's that like open, honest, can inspire people, wants to make people want to be better, basically. So I want to see that in a character, especially a human character. There's not some dark, gritty badass. You know, I want, you know what I mean, Nightwing's, he's a jokester. Not really like a jokester, but like, you know, he's much more an open person than Bruce Wayne is. Plus, it means we could get an Under the Red Hood with this Batman and Ben Affleck at the helm for the directing.
Oh, fuck yes.
Oh, that would be amazing. Are you kidding me? That scene with when he took on all those like 12 hostage takers or whatever at the end of the movie?
Oh my goodness.
Dude.
Good fighting.
That gave me a boner.
Good fighting.
It was an amazing sequence, like the one where like he gets the guy in an armbar and then he picks him up and slams him into the box. I was like,
so well.
I want to see this man play Batman for a very long time. So make it happen.
I like the fact that he actually like used the grappling hook as a weapon.
Oh yeah, when he launched over and then he used his own weight to like throw it forward.
Yeah, I was like, that's so
sweet.
fucking
You can
cool.
very tell this guy's a smart fighter.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't do much detective work with him, but
No.
they did kind of show a bit of stuff. I mean, he's following leads. He's basically getting out on the streets to work his way up to the top of a organization to find the White Russian. That is detective work. I know some people are saying, "Oh, he's not really the greatest detective." Like, he's doing a pretty awesome job of it, but that's a whole other point. Not very cerebral, more on the level, like actually more like kind of a detective who's in a bat suit. But I liked it. I thought, and more, it's not the typical Bruce Wayne either. This is where I want to go with where I'm talking about this movie. Like we said, I'm not a huge fan of Lex Luthor.
Oh.
I'm hoping that they're going to explain his kind of manic, crazy personality in that he had been contacted by aliens, because he was, clearly. He knows all about Darkseid. He knows what's coming. That's why he wanted Superman and Batman out of the way, because he knew who they both were. Clearly in those conversations and all that other stuff, he knows exactly who Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne are. And he's working for Darkseid. And they already released a deleted scene where he's getting talked to by, I believe it's Steppenwolf. There's some conversation as to who it actually is, and he's talking and communicating through mother boxes, which is mother box is what created Cyborg, that cube thing. That's a mother box who create boom tubes. It's how like Darkseid like controls technology and can teleport between points in space and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting, like part of the universe, and I like that they're just diving headfirst into it. I like that they're really embracing the fact that there's some weird shit in these comic books, and they're really going with the New Gods storyline, which is out there even for comic book standards. And it was created by Jack Kirby, who basically spurned, like Marvel, he felt he got spurned by Marvel, so he just went back to DC, or over to DC, and created the New Gods. Which Darkseid, Apocalypse, Orion,
Is that the ones that, Wonder Woman?
She's the old gods.
Okay.
But the old gods are part of the third world. The new gods are part of the fourth world, and it's weird.
Okay, multiverse is. Yeah.
It's not really multiverse. It's just more of a different timeline, essentially.
Okay.
And I'm curious to see where they're going to go with if she's going to actually have a pantheon of gods, or if the Amazons are going to be descended from the Kryptonian that was on Earth 18,000 years ago. That female who was blonde, is she Hippolyta? What? Just saying, it could happen. But back to the story itself. While I like that they're diving so much into the comic books, I'm not sure it really translates well to general viewership. Because I had to explain a lot of stuff to people who don't really know comic books at all. Now, granted, those flaws of like the characterization, which like the General Swanwick flat out saying, "Nah, screw Superman, I want to keep my job." That's not the character he was at the end of Man of Steel, nor at the end of Batman vs. Superman. It was the case of a plot driving a character decision, not the character affecting the plot and moving it along. And that makes me go, I don't know if Snyder's the guy to actually helm a Justice League movie. Because I think he'd be a great guy to do a Batman movie. I don't think he's the guy to do the Superman movie. Because I don't think he understands the world that Superman should inhabit. I mean, he's a guy who's going to make people want to be better. He is the hero's hero. And he basically gives people hope. And I did not feel that at all about this movie. In Man of Steel, too. No. But in Man of Steel, you shouldn't, because he hadn't even been Superman yet.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's been Superman for a year and a half. In public, has already saved the world. He shouldn't be the guy that like 90% of the world hates him, which is what you feel like in this movie. They say it's 50-50, but you feel like it's everybody. They don't get the tone that he's supposed to be a guy people like, you know?
Yeah, you never get that feeling that, people actually like him. No, there's just people just ripping on him the whole time. Senators to...
Yeah, and that's not the character. But that's the other crazy part of this whole universe, Joey. Maybe these aren't the characters we know them as. Know why?
Why?
Fucking Flashpoint. Yes. Jeff Johns is an EP on this whole shebang as an executive producer. Mm-hmm. He wrote Flashpoint. He wrote Throne of Atlantis, which I hope they go with for the Aquaman movie. Make it happen. But anyway, Bruce Wayne, when he's waiting for oh, by the way, if you haven't already gotten to this point, we're going full spoilers. I should have put this at the beginning. Maybe I'll cut this out and put it at the beginning, and then work this in so you know exactly where I remember to say this. But Bruce Wayne, when he's waiting for the drive to decrypt, he has that vision of Apocalypse and the Omega symbol. Well, not really Apocalypse, but the Hell Spores on Earth. You see them in the background. You see the Omega symbol, Superman, taking over and running things. As soon as he wakes up, what does he see?
A mysterious thing pops from the monitor, kind of in a daisy haze.
Not
daisy haze at all. Super extreme.
It doesn't even pop out of a monitor.
I was trying to make it super calmer and just having this little entity. No. I'm playing a lot of...
it's the Flash. We're talking about the Flash.
Barry Allen, you don't know it's really the Flash.
It's Barry Allen. His armor comes up and he's telling Bruce he has to get to Lois because she is the key and that he was right about him. We don't hear who the him is. So he could be talking about Darkseid, could be talking about Superman. My theory is that he's talking about Superman, but Lois Lane died, like in Injustice, and then Superman becomes a tyrant. But in this case, he becomes vulnerable to become a thrall of Darkseid, which happened in Superman the Animated Series and was probably the best part of that whole 4-year run on the cartoon. It was amazing. It was awesome. And I would love to see them adapt that to movies, because that would really play with how the public views him and how the world is affected by his actions. And I don't think Batman was getting the whole story because he wanted to kill Superman, right? The reason he wants to kill him is because he's getting these images. He's gotten this message that he knows the world is fucked. Because he knows there's something else out there. Even after Superman dies at the end, he knows something's still coming. But when Barry Allen tried to come back and change the past, he didn't get the whole message to Bruce. So we're in a Flashpoint universe.
This is gonna be fucking sweet.
Which is crazy.
The thing is, that
they went there for the opening movie of a Justice League setup is mind-boggling. At least I hope they went there, because if they didn't, and Jeff Johns was the EP on this project, what are they thinking? Because the setup was perfect. If they don't go there, they left the coolest setup, the way they could just say, "Hey, Marvel, your cookie cutter stuff, we're gonna go fucking full comic book right away and explain it in 3 movies. It's gonna be volume 3 of a comic book. Then you're gonna get your answers. We're still gonna make money doing it. It would be amazing. I don't know if they're gonna go there, and I don't know if Snyder is the guy.
Difficult.
It will be difficult. It's gonna be different.
That means number 2 is gonna be written really, really well.
I think it's gonna be Death and Return of Superman.
Well.
Or I don't know if they're going to go full on War of the Superman, which is crazy. But I hope they do Superboy.
So the thing, Tom's getting mad at, he was Superman, when he flies, he doesn't alter the things around him. He's not using gravity.
That's never been shown before.
I think that's
any other continuity.
I think that's a way to portray it, though. I mean, they show it in the first one where he's kind of sitting there in that 3-point stand and everything kind of hovers around him and he lifts up and goes. But good luck understanding any of that. That was pretty.
That was really fast.
That was really, really fast.
Really fast. We're talking about stuff.
We're talking about stuff. Really, really stuff. I'm getting excited. No, but damn it.
We are not scripting this at all.
No, we're not.
Couldn't you tell?
But I think it's a good way for them to portray that he's actually still alive within the coffin.
I get that.
Yeah.
But that should have been a teaser at the very end. That should not have been in the main part of the movie before the credits.
What do you mean?
It should not, because that's something that you immediately know. Oh, he's not dead. It just takes away from the entire climax of the movie. You know he's not dead. People should have walked out of that movie. Oh, he's dead. They're going to leave him dead. Oh, shit. That would have been amazing.
That would have been a huge mic drop.
Superman Doomsday, he just dies.
Oh.
And they have a little bit of a sequel called, I can't remember it was a follow-up where how the world is affected by his death. And then it was just darkness for 3 months on Superman titles in the 90s. They didn't print a damn thing. They just let it simmer. That would have been amazing for them to do. And I hear Christopher Nolan didn't want it in there. But I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff, I got the feeling that WB just kind of stepped in and said, hey,
they're doing
we're not cool with how crazy some of this shit is. Let's try to shoehorn some shit in to make stuff make more sense, because we don't really trust the plan that it's going to pay off in 2 movies. And I got the sense that you weren't getting the entirety of the story that was wanted to be told on screen. Because apparently it was supposed to be 2 movies in the front. I don't know if that was ever confirmed or not. Felt like it. And then that decision got changed about halfway through production, which clearly threw off a lot of this stuff. They need to get a writer who knows how to write movies, not TV shows, because I believe Goyer helped write this. Guy writes a hell of a TV show. I'm not a huge fan of his 2-hour movies where he has to wrap up all his plot points. Not that necessarily you should have to in a comic book movie. Because I think we have different expectations for comic book movies. We should. Because in comic books, we know we're not going to get all answers in volume 1.
Oh, no.
There's going to be stuff paid off in further volumes and further issues, or at least issue 1, not volumes, because volumes are collected trades where everything's kind of wrapped up. But in issue 1, we're not going to get all the answers. Hell, we're not even going to get them at issue 10. Like talking like a 12-issue volume for the New 52, specifically.
Setup, yeah.
Sometimes it's weirder, but don't worry about it. That's way too minutia. But I don't think WB, the executives at the movie division, are getting it. I think the comic book people do. I mean, Jeff Johns is awesome. He's written great TV shows. I mean, like, he's been on The Flash. He's been on some of the best parts of Smallville. And I could kind of see his fingerprints on this universe setup, especially with the Flashpoint stuff. And I hope they do Throne of Atlantis. And because, oh man, how fucking great would that be? Oh, I am so fucking excited for that. But I just kind of see his vision for where these things could go. And I hope he has a larger say. Because say what you want about Marvel and their cookie cutterness. There are people that are making decisions. They get their characters.
They do.
They get their vision, and they just go do it. I don't know if WB is going to have the stones to let their people do their thing. Because I hope they almost pulled a Sony and just fucked a movie. Like, this very easily could have been a Spider-Man 3. It's nowhere near as bad. It's not X3. It's not Spider-Man 3. Those are truly horrendous movies that you should just almost walk out and leave. This one, if you're a comic book fan, I'd say it was good.
You like majority of it.
Yeah.
There's parts you'd be like,
you can totally tell that the writing was really, really crappy, but the acting was good. Mm-hmm. The direction, like the shots were good. Visually, it was amazing.
I'm gonna fight you on some of the shots.
You don't like Doomsday.
I like Doomsday.
No, you didn't like how he looked.
I like the fact that he transformed.
Which that was
fucking cool.
Point. That was on point. That was very Doomsday, and like he's supposed to change by like
Doomsday
how
being
you
a giant
him.
Was the one thing that I was like, this is gonna be weird. And in some like shots they showed him, he kind of looked like a normal person, and they couldn't portray it that well. And how tall is Doomsday actually in comics? He's supposed to be tower over.
It varies.
Oh, it does? Okay. So I didn't really know if there's a set
genetically
standard for
speaking, I don't know how he goes from basically 6'2" to like 8'9" or whatever, but whatever. I'm not going to argue physics in a Superman movie. Outside of the whole gravity being affected by him when he flies shit. Just pisses me off. But, like I would say, I'm going to wrap it up here because I think we've been talking enough and rambling enough. I'm going to say it's good. Could have been a hell of a lot better. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. I'm going to say it was good because I'm a DC super nerd. Like my sister, she's not. I had to explain a lot to her. I would say it's just your average movie, much like TMNT, the first one, the new one.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
The second one looks amazing. The new one, it was just okay. It wasn't anything great. It was just your typical, it's a decent summer action movie. Move on, right? If you're not a super comic books DC nerd and you're not going to go read and learn about this and be invested in the universe, which I think this movie did a very good job of drawing you in and actually making you go, oh shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
What is this? What? Right? Even if you're not a super comic book fan, I think it did a good job of that. If you didn't get grabbed in by that, I'd say it's just a decent action movie.
But I feel like most people that went to it
most
are
people,
going to be
yes,
grabbed
but I think we went on opening night.
Yes. Yeah.
You're talking like next week, in the second week of it, I don't think it's going to do that well. Because I don't think the word of mouth is going to decimate it in the second weekend.
I think it just has
but it doesn't have a lot of competition, too. Like, they picked their timing so well.
What's their competition this week? Like
nothing. There's nothing until Civil War from this point on.
Yeah, Civil War.
London Has Fallen is out. 10 Cloverfield Lane is out. Except for a couple indie sci-fi movies that are out, like Hardcore Henry, which is more of a FPS one, or Midnight Special, which is an indie sci-fi movie. Not really a ton else that's going to compete with Batman vs. Superman. So I think it's maybe going to continue well.
I think it's got a good name tied Batman.
I don't think it should, because, I mean, they really need a wake-up call and to get a better writing team. Because this needs to be fixed going forward, because you have a good foundation now. You do. You got the Flashpoint stuff. You got a good Batman. You got Henry Cavill. You got Gal Gadot, or Gadot, however you say her name. And I hope they make Lex Luthor less crazy now that he's like not going to be in contact with fucking aliens. So maybe he becomes more like a traditional Lex Luthor character, because now he's not going to be influenced by aliens. That would be awesome. Or we get a flashback with Michael Rosenbaum as his dad. Oh, make it happen.
I still like,
because then he can be the Lex Luthor.
Oh.
And he is the Lex Luthor. I don't think anyone's going to top Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. It's like, I mean, personally, I liked Amy Adams. I think Erica Darrence is a better Lois Lane. Especially later in the show, Smallville, Lois Lane. Oh, she was awesome. But anyway, whole other topic. So, Joey,
Yes.
I thought it was good. That's the description I would give it as a comic book nerd. I'd say it was good. What would you say?
Last time we talked about it, I had a B-. That was probably right after we watched it, but I'm going with C+ now.
Okay.
I'm losing a little bit more.
Joey's going a school grading scale.
That's
I'm just saying a word. But good and C+.
Yeah, basically it covers the bulletins. It doesn't excel.
It's a little bit more than average.
Yeah.
C is average.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better than average.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It intrigues me. The reason why it gets a plus is because the cyborg thing. That was cool. I don't know the actual origin
the
things.
Justice League setup?
Yeah.
Top notch.
Oh, totally.
I'm not a huge fan of the Flash's powers because we've seen how awesome they can look on a freaking CW budget.
The show's awesome.
The show is great. The show's fantastic. And I if you don't like comic books and you don't like the Flash, what is wrong with you? Because the show is just pure fun, which these movies so far haven't had fun in.
No.
And that's why I'm hoping in a Flash movie we're going to have some fun. Because Barry Allen's supposed to be a fun character.
Oh, yeah, he is.
So I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the DC Cinematic universe as a whole. As you can see here, we're pretty much doing this all in one take outside of some random dead air cuts. So sorry if we've rambled. But what did you think of the movie? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, if you liked the video, you liked our inane rambling back and forth, make sure you like the video, hit subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest videos, and I will see you next week. Peace.